Chapter 12. The Body of the Fire Tripod. Heaven Mending Sect, divided into Visitors Living Area, Gambling Area and Clan Area. One of the Clan Area can only mend the Sky Clan disciples live. Outsiders are not allowed to enter. And one of the Mountain Peak Place is the Clan disciples are not allowed to cross into. That is the Patriarch Hu Dongshan's private area. Not by the permission of the Patriarch. Cross into the person are to die. Peak name is Mending Heaven Peak. Above a Mending Heaven Hall. Patriarch Hu Dongshan. Countless disciples in the clan. But there is not a personal disciple. This is the practice of the Heaven Mending Sect. Only the Patriarch's great limit is approaching. Will choose the inheritance disciple. Mending Heaven Sect is not big, but the reputation is good. The outside world has a strong person magic treasure broken. Hu Dongshan will help to repair, although charge some fees, but after all, a good karma, and open the Colosseum. Used to fight are all 10 evil people, and will not cause others to resent. The other day, Hu Dongshan brought a batch of evil people back from the Heaven Mending City, and received a special guest, and up to this point, hadn't seen anyone else. The gate of the Heaven Mending Hall was tightly closed. However, in the depths of the Heaven Mending Hall, there was an entrance that led underground. The entire Heaven Mending Peak was hollowed out. Hu Dongshan, if you dare to treat me like this, I will kill you. Do you know who I am? If anything happens to me, my master will behead you, a grieving female voice sounded. If Gu Hai was here, he would definitely be able to hear that this woman was not someone else, but the former Silver Moon City's reigning fairy Wana. A song of the tragic world almost broke the 5 senses of the city's present billion people. After passing the song to break the army, also forced the divine martial king's army could not advance an inch. But at this moment, it was the 4 ropes that emerged from the walls that tied up the limbs. Although still masked, but bound, the sweat from the struggle dampened the muslin on her body, and she was still unable to break free. And an infinite panic permeated the eyes of the entire person. The place where Immortal Wana was bound, however, was like a gorgeous house space, with all kinds of furniture inside, including a large bed. Not far away was a staircase that seemed to lead downstairs. Who? On the downstairs floor, there was a burst of panting sounds, but it was as if there was a man and a woman in the room downstairs. Only, the male voice was only one person, while the female voice had more than a dozen in general. Fairy Wana, don't make any noise. It's useless to make any noise. Wait for me to suck in a female yin. Then I will come back to pamper you. Ha 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 ha. The male voice rang out from the next floor. Hu Dongshan, how dare you? Upstairs. Fairy Wana's eyes glared up, tearing her heart out as she roared. Dare or not, didn't you see it? Ha 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 ha. The body of the fire cauldron. It's really a good dual cultivation cauldron, or I'll love you well. You just happen to help me condense my fire infant, and the fire cauldron refines my fire infant. Ha 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 ha. I might be able to reach the highest heights of all the generations of my Heaven Mending Sect. Ha 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 ha. Hu Dongshan's excited voice rang out from downstairs. Don't, master. Don't. The woman's painful voice came from downstairs. Upstairs, Fairy Wana was the one whose eyes changed wildly. How did you know that I'm the body of a fire cauldron? How do I know? I've said it all. My Heaven Mending Sect's gong method is one of the top dual cultivation gong methods in the world. Today, the last time I saw you, my kung fu was sensitive to detect it. Unexpectedly, I still have a chance. Ha 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 ha. Hu Dongshan said excitedly downstairs. Don't, master. No. A terrified cry came from the woman downstairs. There was no sound in the twinkling of an eye. Xiao Dai is dead. Master, don't pick me. Ooh. Let me go, master. I don't want to be like Xiao Dai and Xiao Xin. I don't want to die like them. A burst of terrified voices from the women came from all around. Dual cultivation. You're picking yin to make up for yang, right? It's not dual cultivation at all. They're all dead, Shangwon said in horror. Dying under my treasure is also their destiny. These 50 female slaves of the Jindan realm could have been given to me to cultivate for a year. However, today, for your sake, I am willing to give up everything. He. Hu Dongshan's voice came from downstairs. Heaven Mending Peak. Is that your obscene cave? You go around searching for a female cultivators to be your cauldron, harvesting yin to replenish yang. A wave of disgust flashed through Shangwon's eyes. Ha 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 ha. So what if you know? You still expect to escape from here? I don't have any other skills. I just know how to repair magic treasures. Do you know how many waste treasures I've recycled? Those treasures, even if the Open Heaven Palace cultivators look at them all greedy, just all broken, I easily get it to my hands. All repaired. This Mending Heaven sect within the heavy organs, than other Imperial Dynasty Palace. No, than the Imperial Dynasty's palace are more strict. You can't escape, as if you are now, can't make the force, right? Cultivation is pressed into the Jindan realm. Magic treasures and magic power can't be used at all. Escape. Ha 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 ha. Hu Dongshan's cold laughter came. Ah, no. Don't, I can't. Ah, master, spare my life. Ah. Another woman's voice rang out from downstairs. Xiao Sen is dead too. Master, spare my life. No, master, no. Ooh, master, spare me. The pleas for mercy from a group of women came from downstairs, accompanied by the sound of chains clattering, as if no matter how much they begged for mercy, they couldn't escape Hu Dongshan's clutches. Fairy Wanna, don't be in a hurry. You are the body of a fire tripod, and you are still a virgin. I don't dare to touch you now. Otherwise, once your Yuan enters my body, it won't be helping me to condense a fire baby. It will be incinerating my heart orifices. When I've harvested enough power, I'll come back to pamper you and make sure that you like it. Ha ha ha. Hu Dongshan's voice rang out. How dare you? Fairy Wanna glared. Aren't I preparing? Ha 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 ha. My master teacher won't spare you. Your master's father. Silk. Speaking of which, it seems like the last time my Gongfu sensed that your master teacher was also I can't say exactly. Her physique, it's no worse than yours. Your body of fire tripod, I think the practice of fire techniques must be incomparably handy, right? Your master's father repaired. What techniques to take the handle? Hu Dongshan curiously said downstairs. Asshole, you dare to mouth off to my master's father as well. Fairy Wanna said angrily. So what if I said it? She doesn't know. It's like, I just sucked your Yuan Yin. So what? It's not like she can know. Isn't it? Who let you crash in by yourself? Hey, Hu Dongshan laughed lewdly. A wave of panic flashed through Fairy Wanna's eyes. It's all because of Gu Hai that I took the risk of playing the forbidden song to break through. If I hadn't taken the risk, my Guking wouldn't have broken, and I wouldn't have come to you to fix it, either. Nor would it have fallen into my hands. Hey, it's useless for you to complain. You are the body of a fire tripod. If you don't give it to me this time, it will still be cheaper for other men in the coming days. Hu Dongshan's lewd laughter continued. A cold sweat broke out on Fairy Wanna's forehead. She was smart for a lifetime. How could she be confused this time? How did she fall into this villain's way? Who are dead again? There was a gasping sound downstairs, and along with the death of each Jindan realm's chained slave girl, the panic in Fairy Wanna's eyes grew more and more prevalent. This was already the third day Hu Dongshan had been forcibly taking away Yuan Yin to replenish Yang, and now Fairy Wanna wanted to break free, but this room didn't know what treasures were used. A force field pressed down. She couldn't exert any mana at all, and those magic treasures of her own didn't listen to the call in general. She couldn't do anything about it. Hu Dongshan, I will not let you go even if I become a ghost. Fairy Wanna hissed in despair. Below, It seemed that the last woman let out a miserable scream. There was no sound left. Ha 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 ha, well, now that I'm at the top of my young chi. Ha ha ha, be a ghost, I'll make you a flirtatious ghost. Ha ha ha. Hu Dongshan laughed out loud. Thud, 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 thud. A stepping sound came from downstairs, and the fear in Fairy Wanna's eyes grew more and more prevalent. However, she saw that Hu Dongshan walked up. Asterisk 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 his body. His lower body was like a branding iron letting off light, and it was even more stained with blood. Hu Dongshan's hair was white, but his face was childish and tender. But it was the effect of picking yin and replenishing yang. You. Fairy Wanna was shocked and furious. Me what me? He. The body of the fire tripod is also my blessing. My heaven mending skill was originally difficult to refine. If I sucked your yin, the fire infant will not be worried. Ha ha ha. I am now at the peak of my energy, and now I can withstand your body. Ha 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 ha. Hu Dongshan said with a wave of excitement. You dare, I will kill you. Fairy Wanna was terrified beyond measure and said. Hu Dongshan, however, probed his hand, and a pink sphere suddenly flew from the bed not far away. Buzz. Probing hand gently run. Pink sphere floating in the air above this layer of dungeon. A burst of pink smoke instantly shrouded the entire dungeon. Some pink gases turn eyes drilling into Wanna Fairy's nostrils. Suddenly, Fairy Wanna felt her blood boil, and her entire being felt different. What is this thing? Fairy Wanna said in alarm. This is the treasure inherited from my heaven mending sect. The heaven mending orb. The pink gas on this heaven mending orb can make you like to double cultivate with me more and more in the next time. It is also this orb that suppresses the stances of the surroundings. The fact that you can't use your mana and magic treasures is also because of this heaven mending orb. Hey, how about it? Is it a feeling? Is it wet down there? Hu Dongshan laughed lewdly and walked step by step. You kill me. Let me die. Fairy Wanna was horrified. Don't be anxious. We'll let you asterisk 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 later. Ha ha ha. Hu Dongshan slowly walked closer. Slowly, he unlocked the chains on Fairy Wanna's body. Ha! Wanna Fairy struck with a palm, but at the moment, it was a soft palm. Her whole body already had no strength in general. Her eyes turned misty. Ha 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 ha. I will pamper you. Don't rush. Don't rush. Hu Dongshan slowly carried Fairy Wanna onto the large bed not far away. No, don't. Fairy Wanna revealed a look of despair. However, the body's reaction at this moment had already made Fairy Wanna unable to help herself, and only that color of despair remained in her eyes. As two lines of tears slid down, and as they slid down, her will became more and more blurred. A scene that she had experienced in the past kept popping up in her mind. At the end of the picture, it was fixed on that most hated Guhai, clearly inferior to himself. Why did he win everywhere? Under the heaven-mending sphere, Immortal Wanna slowly willed herself to blur, panting deeply, tantalizingly incomparable. I'm coming. Ha ha ha. Let me see first. What do you really look like? With a surge of excitement, Hu Dongshan was about to go and uncover Fairy Wanna's veil. Just at this moment, a sudden cry of distress came from the outside world. Patriarch, it's bad, a disciple cried out eagerly. Hu Dongshan's face changed, and a wave of displeasure flashed through his eyes. Something happened outside, but he did not want to give up the Wanna Fairy in front of him. He himself hadn't even touched it yet. Patriarch, there is an enemy attacking. Patriarch, someone has trapped my mending heaven sect with a great formation. Sovereign, come out quickly. Sovereign, it's bad. The shouts from outside caused Hu Dongshan to be annoyed for a while, and several times he wanted to go and undo Fairy Wanna's veil, but didn't manage to do so. How come something happened outside at this time? Really good at pinching time, Hu Dongshan was annoyed. Several times he wanted to disregard the outside world, but the urgent shouts from the outside world disturbed Hu Dongshan time and time again, until he heard Tang Chu's voice from the outside world. People inside listen. Hu Dongshan of the Heaven Repairing Sect violated the national law of the Great Han Dynasty. Today, we are here to arrest Hu Dongshan. It's none of other people's business. Don't move rashly. We'll let you all leave later. Please cooperate with me. Those who dare to move rashly will be considered as accomplices to be dealt with. Hearing this, Hu Dongshan's face sank with a cold snort. Unwillingly taking a look at Fairy Waller, who was constantly writhing on the bed, Hu Dongshan had a depressed look on his face. HMPH, when I come back, I'll pamper you properly. Hu Dongshan had a face of annoyance. Quickly putting on his clothes, Hu Dongshan quickly walked out with a wave of displeasure.